Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks, Captures, Threats. Today's episode, episode 55 of the Chess Guide, we'll be going over opening traps. So, probably should have gone over this a tiny bit earlier, but we're going to go over it now, and I'm going to decide to do this in the Chess Guide, not the learn the openings, because I feel like this is some quite quick and easy traps that you'll be able to find and also hopefully defend against. Now, the three we'll be going with to do here now is going to be the Scholar's Mate. I think everyone knows that as the 4-move mate. There is also obviously the England Gambit. We went over that in the Learn the Openings, but if you didn't see that, we'll go over it today. And last but not least, just a quick little 3-move mate here, which is, something you'll very, very rarely see at all. So we'll go over that still because you never know in chess. There is always possibilities of something. So let's go over the first one, Scholar's Mate. So as white, here we're going to play e4 straight away. Now that's fine, a normal opening here. They're going to play e5, that is still fine. Now we're going to play bishop to c4. Now what this move already does is this is part of something called the bishop's opening, as stated, because you get the bishop out. And if we think of the London system that we know, it's just the opposite really, almost, other than we haven't got the knight out. Now let's say they bring this, they do something like they bring their bishop out. Now, this is where a lot of stuff can go haywire, we could say. Now, queen to h5. Now, let's say, okay, you put your queen out. Let's block it. Now, obviously, this is where we, in the end, fall short of checkmate here. Now, we obviously don't want that as black, but something we've got to make sure we don't do here is, okay, it's this position. What do we do? Do not play this. This loses as well, because queen can take e5 here, giving check, and even if you block here with the queen, you can take their rook, and you are 5 points up, and you're going to win this knight soon, forcing him to play moves like this, which you can just play stuff like this again. So, okay, we don't want that either, so what can we physically do? So, we said if we play this bishop move. Now, most of the time you won't be playing this, and if they put their bishop out like this, you can just bring your knight out straight away. It stops this square. They can't do it now, and we're actually attacking, so they have to go into their natural opening. So if you want that straight away, you can, but there's also a few things we can do. If we bring this knight out, that's fine. Now, they might try this again, and there's a few other things we can do. We can now play g6, because they can't capture, because we capture them back with our knight now. Now, this isn't over though, because they can still play queen to f3, forcing checkmate again. So, what do we do here? I say we've got a few options. Queen to e7, obviously just blocking this, and then we can French chateau this bishop. We also have knight to f6, one of the best moves because we're developing with tempo, because we're blocking something as well. But also, another move we can play is queen to f6, obviously counter-attacking their queen. So, honestly, either one of those 3 moves are fine, and from now, you're in an alright endgame, or not endgame, should I say, alright middle game, because we're pretty much going to be developed quite quickly after this. It only takes a few moves for all of this to kind of evolve out, and by now, we're a castle and everything. So, honestly, as black, you shouldn't be afraid now, and as white, obviously, in my opinion, we do not play traps, as in, I don't really want to be winning with traps, because they haven't seen it, but, I expect some to play against them against me, especially if they're just trying to win a piece and not checkmate. Now, what we're going to do here is the England Gambit. Now, this one people do fall for quite a lot. I have fallen for this once before as well, because I didn't know at all what this opening was about and everything. So, d4, a very natural move here. Now, I'm going to play e5, straight away gambiting this pawn. Now, what we're going to do here is a move queen to e7. Or, should I say, because after this knight and this knight comes out, we're obviously attacking this pawn. You could do it either way as well. I might have done that wrong as well. You can always bring the knight out straight away as black, because you're able to kind of gain that tempo with this queen. But either way is fine. Maybe the queen straight away was not the best idea, but it's going to result to the same thing. Now, bishop f4. This is alright, you're still up by a point as white, but queen to b4 check. Now, let's say they obviously go back. They don't want to lose their bishop, do they? We're going to win their pawn. Now, what are they going to do? They do not want to play this move. This move loses because of the move bishop to b4. So, what do you do now? What we do not do is this queen move. This queen move is a very, very bad move because after we take, we do not want to take with the queen because it is checkmate. Now, if you take the knight as well, you lose the rook, and again, you're still losing after they have to block with one of these two pieces, and you can just escape, you know, like this. Now, how can we stop this? So, many ways here. So, we've done this. This is fine. They're going to take here. We're still about 2 points up. Now, all we've got to play here is knight c3. Now, if they play bishop b4 here, we could play something like rook b1. We're forcing them away and away here, and we could just play moves like this. And now, slowly, we're starting to gain a bit more of a, you know, attack. You know, we just have to play moves like this, and now we're attacking very quickly. And we've got all our pieces coming out now. So, we obviously know how to do that. Now, even if you want to start early on and you see this is going to happen, most of the time, just give up the pawn. It's one of the simplest things. Really, we want to develop firstly. So, we might have this. You know, in my opinion, I much prefer this over, like, what we just had a minute ago. This position here is strong for white. We've developed 2 pawns and a knight, whereas they've just got their queen. Their bishop can come out, yes, but not this one yet. This is trapped in, whereas both of our bishops are quite free to go, and we've got an open file on the queen. So in my opinion, I quite like the position here, but we can always, you know, have different moves here. We don't have to play f4 straight away, but here, black kind of struggles after the England Gambit if they try and do that little trap, but sometimes it works, sometimes it won't. Now, last but not least, we're going to just go over the 2-move mate. It's just a little silly thing here. If you do fall for this, you know, if you play as black here, I'll be very surprised because their first move is f6. Probably the worst move on the board for a number of reasons. You're opening up your king, and we'll see why that's bad later. You're blocking in your knight now, even more than it was. And this bishop now is going to struggle to even get out here at all. Now, if you make a simple move as knight to c3, what you're going to see here is if they try and play this move here, it's actually checkmate straight away. Now, if you're black here and you do this, I'll be very surprised because there's many faults with this. You know, obviously we do not want to open the king side up this much, and also we'd obviously want to play moves like this, really. So it's quite easy to, you know, not do. Honestly, I don't know physically what this can do for us because, you know, it actually doesn't even help our bishop. It doesn't help our knight. It doesn't help anything this side of the board. So it's an honest struggle here if you want to try it. But that is all the opening traps for this video. We're going to go over. There might be a few more, but honestly, I think they're even easier, some of them to solve, and some might be quite deep in opening and theory. So, you know, there's many ways you can get around that. So, just to clarify, obviously we know what Scholar's Mate was here. Obviously, if you hopefully do not fall for something like this. Obviously, the England Gambit, remembering I might have made a mistake earlier on there. I think what we should do is bring the knight out first, and we get this sort of move like this. It doesn't matter the move order entirely, but we can play the knight first because I think we develop that quicker, and then there's this whole queen check thing now. And then last but not least, obviously, the 2-move mate, or 3-move, should I say. Now, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So I'd like to say thank you, and bye-bye.